Okay, everyone, thank you for joining us on our team call. Bree is going to be leading, but I want to quick kick us off with a few announcements. Next week, we will be sharing some big announcements, or big changes, I should say, on our team call next week. So you'll want to be sure to be there. And you'll just have to wait to find out what they are. Go ahead, Bree.
Okay. Hi, guys. Thank you. I've threatened my kids with everything, so they better stay downstairs. I'm hoping that they'll stay down there. This is kind of a tough time of day for us. We just get home from school and lunch, and I know you're all in that same boat. So I'm going to keep it quick, but I saw this video or this training probably 2 months ago now, and it's one that just like, I can't get it out of my brain. And it was one I had reached out to Kate right away, and I was like, I have to share this. So it's something I've been wanting to share with you guys for a while, and it's something I'm really working on. And the topic basically narrows down to, are you somebody that others want to join? So we talk a lot about selling the product and doing all of that, and that's all so important. But are you somebody that people feel comfortable joining? And I learned a few tips and tricks of like, how to figure out if you are that person and how to enhance what you have to make you come across as that person. So there's 3 main things that we're focused on in this training. And the first thing is being likable, right? And that sounds so simple. It's so easy. Like, yeah, of course, if I'm likable, people will join me. But that's different for every single person. So how am I likable? Why am I likable versus why is Kate likable versus why is Christy likable versus we're all so different, right? And so how do I know if I'm likable? And how do I enhance what I have to come across as more likable or be more likable? Okay. So there's a couple different steps to figure out kind of your niche, kind of what you should be capitalizing on, I guess is the best way to say it. So step 1 is you're going to find the 6 closest people to you, not on your team. It can't be anyone on your team. It can be close relatives, but I wouldn't rely just on relatives like husband. I'd kind of try to venture out a little bit, maybe a couple friends, maybe friends of friends, but 6 people. And you're going to ask them, why do you like me? Why do you like hanging out with me? What are things that make you want to be with me? And it was so uncomfortable. I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't even know who I would ask that. But you guys, that alone for me was like life-changing. So I got a lot of like your sense of humor. I have a very dry sense of humor. It's pretty sarcastic. Some people love that. Some people don't like that. But the majority, like from these people, that was something that they said, like, that's just part of who you are. And that's why we like you. The other thing I got is you're very honest. You're always going to tell me how it is. You're not going to beat around the bush. I'm an open book. And I think then these people told me that's something they like about me or respect about me. The third thing that I heard a lot of is, you make me comfortable. Like I'm comfortable around you. I don't feel like I have to try to be somebody that I'm not. So those were the 3 things I got, main things. You guys are going to get so many different things, but try to like clump them into, your top 3 or whatever it is. And then how are you going to translate that on social media? How are you going to translate that in your stories and in your posts? So for me, I need to capitalize on my sense of humor. So I'm a little bit sillier. I try to do the dancing. I try to be not so professional or so serious because that's not how people see me, or that's not a quality people like in me. So instead of trying to be somebody I'm not, which that reads as a negative thing when I'm trying to be someone I'm not, I'm trying to just capitalize on the things that people are telling me, like, Bree, we like this about you. This is something that's really good about you. And I can't tell you how you're going to translate your things into social media, but I think that if you can just capitalize on what your closest friends are saying, like, hey, we like hanging out with you because you're this, you do this, I think then if you can translate that and push that across, you're going to be more authentically you, and people are going to like that. Okay? So the second step in figuring out if you're likable, and this for me, and I'm so glad that I revisited this because I needed to hear it again, and you guys might need to hear it again. It was go back to your messenger, pull up your messenger, and go to your upline and your success partner, your messages, and read them. Are you being negative? Are you being positive? Are you encouraging? Or are you always asking them to fix you? These kinds of things, the way that you talk to the people that are helping you through this business and there to support you is going to be how you come across. So we all go through like ebbs and flows of our business, right? There's times where we're like, I love this. This is the best business. And then and maybe this isn't all of you, and then there's times where you question it and you're like, I don't know. Or something else is going on in your personal life and you're like, I'm just kind of a grump and I kind of can't do it. And that will come across. But so go back to your message to your upline and look at that. Like, am I kind of a negative person? And it doesn't mean you're trying to be, but am I? And then how can I twist that to try to be a more positive person, a more uplifting person? It doesn't mean being fake. It just means kind of digging into yourself a little bit and asking like, is this a likable person? This person that's talking in this message, is she likable? Okay. So step one was you're going to ask your 6 closest friends, 6 closest people. What are some things that you like about me? Why do you like being around me? Why do you like hanging out with me? Step 2 is you're going to go back to your messenger. You're going to look at some of your messages, mostly to your upline and your success partners, the people you talk to the most kind of about the business. And what is my attitude about the business? Is it good or is it kind of negative? And how can I change that? The next thing, and this kind of is going to sound silly, but smile. Okay, so I know Kate is always like, I want to see your face. And if you ask Kate for feedback on a post, she wants to see your face. And I know that like we all have our brand, right? And some of us, our brand is we're tough. Like I'm a tough girl. I'm a confident girl. I got my shit together. I don't smile, right? That's fine. That's fine. But just try to smile because it's a little bit more inviting and it's a little bit softer and a little bit gentler. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I might have to step away for just a minute. Someone needs to use the potty. So he is fine for right now, but I might have to step away for just a minute. But smile. So that doesn't mean change your brand. If your brand is that you're tough, you're confident, you're all these things, that's fine. But just try to smile, okay? I know sometimes for me, I go back and I watch my workout videos and I'm like, girlfriend, you could have smiled like once in there and looked like you weren't miserable. I wasn't miserable, but my face isn't saying that. My face is saying I'm kind of miserable, even though I'm not. So try to just be welcoming. Just try to be welcoming, try to be inviting, try to always remember that, okay? So those are the first things under likable, some tasks that you can work on, try to figure out like, am I likable? Am I inviting? Am I making this a place people want to be and join in? The second thing is be productive and be consistent, okay? People want to join people that are successful. People want to join people that are consistent, that are doing the work over and over and over. And they want to see it when the times are tough, that it doesn't faze you. You're still going, you're still doing it. I think a lot of what this business is it's building trust. And I tell my girls that right when they join me, it's a lot of like, well, I put this out there and nobody responded. Yeah, because you're building trust. They don't quite trust you yet, especially in, I think, a fitness industry and what we're in, a lifestyle industry. It's often, I think it's probably the most commonly quit industry. Like people sign up, yep, I'm going to do it, and then they quit. 2 months later, 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later. And people want to make sure that you're not going to quit. And so it might take them a year and then they're like, okay, she's actually serious. She's not going to quit. Now I'll join her. So I think it's that consistency and that productivity. If you're here a month and gone a month and here a month and gone a month, that's not building trust and that's not showing people productivity. So if you really want to do this, you really want to build a team, which is how you become successful in this business, you need to be consistent and you need to be productive. People also don't want to see, I mean, and I'm going to take this back a little bit. People join people, right, that we talked about this. People join people that they like. So they need to see you personally I had a hard time with this. Like, why do I need to show my personal self? Like, why do people need to see my personal life? Because they join the person. And a lot of what I do in my downtime and my alone time shows who I am as a person. And does that align with what this business is? And does that align with what they might potentially join in? Would that be something they would want to do? So be cognizant of that in your productivity. So another thing to think about is like, why did you join your coach? Like for me, it was that, for me, honestly, it was watching Kate. Like she was just productive all day long. Like I'm sure there were points where she was tired and wanted to take a nap and wanted to lay down, but she was productive and she kept getting things done. And to me, I admired that. Nope. Just give me a minute, okay? I admired that, and that was something that I wanted to be a part of, okay? The other thing is, like, are you making money? Okay, that's something that's why people join you. Are you making money on this? Are you seeing results? Are you transforming? Share that. People want to see. They join you because they want to see a transformation. They want to change. Okay, so. So are you seeing results? What's changing? Maybe your body didn't change that much, but you guys, we all know there's so many other ways that we're changing, and it doesn't have to be just in your body or your physical or whatnot. So I guess the thing is, do the things and share it. Do the vital behaviors and share the vital behaviors, because that's what people would be signing up to be a part of. I'm going to say one more thing, then I got to go help my other one. So I did talk about this a little bit, but watch your stories, watch your videos, look at your posts, and ask yourself, like, would I join her? Is she somebody that I would join? And if the answer is nope, then ask yourself, like, what do I need to change? How do I be somebody that people want to join? So go look at the coaches that you admire. What are they doing that makes me like them and continue to follow them? Okay. Sorry. So ask those questions. Like, go look at people you admire, celebrities, whatever. Why do you continue to follow them? What did they do that makes you enjoy it? Can you guys hear them? Mom. Okay, I'll be right back. Yes. I'm going to mute myself just a second.
Is that daily sunshine you're pouring in that cup?
You can also bribe people. Bribery works really well. Okay. So I left off with, are you somebody that people, like, would you join yourself? So do that every couple weeks. Like, go back and look at your videos, your posts, whatever it is. Am I somebody that would I join myself? Okay. Or ask your husband, like, would you join me? Or ask your best friend, like, why did you join me? Or have that, just somebody kind of a third party look at your stuff and say, like, just do, right? I think, what is it called? Like an inventory, I guess, of kind of your brand. The other thing is look at your brand, look back at your pictures, and you'll kind of see your brand. Like if you kind of go back and look like, okay, what has this last month been like? Well, I've had a lot of stuff with my kids. So that's kind of my brand then, right? Like my kids, I'm kind of utilizing that mom aspect, or I'm a busy professional, then that's your brand. Like it's kind of have to figure out and kind of do inventory every once in a while of like, what am I putting out there? And is it positive? And is it likable? The third thing, so we talked about likable and I gave you the tasks. The second thing was being productive and being consistent. And then the third thing is, are you memorable? Okay, so what makes you stand out? There's a lot of Beachbody coaches out there. Let's just be honest, right? There is. What makes you memorable? And I'm not talking like, so what's your brand? We kind of talked about that. I'm not talking like logo, color, like I'm not talking about all that. Don't waste your time with that. Is it the way you talk? Is it your style, your clothes, your hair, is it where you work out? Christy, you're in your garage. That's memorable for people. People will remember that. what is something that you can capitalize on that makes you memorable? Is it the time of day that you post? Is it the time of day that you do your stories? Try to be consistent. Is it a hashtag that you use? We talk about mom crack. I use pixie powder and I got a lot from that. I've gotten away from it and I need to go back because I got a lot from that. Is it the music you listen to? I don't know how many times a day I get comments on the music I listen to, and I just am like, well, maybe I should be a DJ. I don't know. I don't know. But it's something that's sticking in people's head, and it's something they remember, and they comment on it all the time. So start figuring out those things and then capitalize on that. Kate, you got a post the other day about your fashion. Go with that. Like, does that mean you need a fashion blog? Not necessarily, but it means that that's something that people are watching from you. So they might want to see an outfit of the day. They don't want to see pictures of, they want to see you and what you're wearing because they admired that about you, right? So it has to be something about you. And something this girl said that I thought was really good and I thought was interesting is she said, you know you've made it, you know you're memorable when somebody is out shopping, or like a client or a customer or a follower is out shopping and they take a picture of something, they send it to you and they say, this made me think of you. That's when you know you're doing something that is memorable. Okay, so for me, I was doing that pixie powder and I had Tinkerbell on there every once in a while. I had a friend post a picture or send me a picture that said, oh my God, this made me think of you. That was memorable for her. Okay, so those kinds of things, like Ashley, when I think of you, I think of Justin Timberlake. So girlfriends, stick with that. Like people will see Justin Timberlake out and they'll be like, oh my God, I thought of you. So you got to find kind of those things and kind of keep bringing them up every week of like, yep, I love Justin Timberlake, or, oh, yep, I mean, I don't love Tinkerbell, but it's kind of become a part of something that people remember about me because it's different. It's not the same thing they're seeing every day. But another kind of twist on that, you guys, oh my gosh, Ashley, you look so beautiful. Sorry, I finally see your face. How do you make people feel is another part of being memorable. And I think in our business, you guys, that is so important. I know this is something that I am struggling with a lot right now. And so again, I'm so glad I revisited this training because we get people to sign up with us and this is like a life thing for them. Like a lot of times, like this isn't just a couple pounds, like they need to change. They're coming to us because they need help and they can't do it alone, right? So they depend on us. They need us. That's a lot of pressure on us. And that's where I think I'm struggling with it right now is like, can I be that person? All it is, you guys, is making them feel important, making them feel valuable, making them feel included, making them feel like they're not just a check on your box, like, oh, she got another 2 Success Club points and now she's moving on. It's making them feel a part of something. That's why they signed up. So it's not a little message like, or a call like, hey, thanks. It's getting on those voice memos. It's sending them a video of your face saying like, I'm so excited, or, okay, you got lift 4 now, like, here's your calendar, here's all. It's really making them feel important. And if they feel that from you and continually feel that from you, they're going to join you, right? Because if you feel valuable, if you feel important, you're not going to go away. You're going to want to be a part of it because you've been shown you are important. You are a part of this. Like, this doesn't work without you, you know? And I think it's showing people that. And that is a lot of pressure on us. And that's why a team is so important because we can't do it all by ourselves. We need a team to help and support, right? So that's kind of why we're talking about this. Like, how do we build our team so that we can utilize each other and make sure that everyone feels important? Okay. The other thing about making people feel important is then they want to invite their friends. And we talk about this a lot. Like we do a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of time goes into building. Well, if you have 10 girls and they each bring 1 girl, now you have 20 girls. And they each bring 1 girl, now you have 40 girls. You know, I mean, that alone, we shouldn't have to work so hard necessarily because we should make our people feel so important. Those first 10 people should feel so important that then they share it with the next 10, 20, 40. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So I just kind of want to recap. Those were the main things. So there were 3 things. How can I work on being somebody that people want to join, right? The first thing was, am I likable? Smile. Be inviting. The other thing that she said, and this was really good, you guys, we're not talking to people face to face a lot of times, right? We're talking to them through a screen. So just using your normal voice, talking behind a computer, just being really relaxed and like this, like that's not super inviting, and I'm not really super interested in what she's talking about. But if you can use some emotion, if you can put something behind it, I'm talking to you through a screen. So is this how I talk to like my husband if he was sitting across the table from me? Not really, but I'm trying to engage you. I'm trying to bring you in. I'm trying to show you that you matter to me. And sometimes that feels a little funny and it feels like maybe you're being a little bit fake. It's not fake. It's just you times 2 because you're talking through a screen. Okay. So I thought that was really good. I was like, yeah, because that can feel funny to people, right? So are you likable? Are you inviting? Are you productive and consistent? And are you memorable? And I gave you guys some like tasks and some things that you can work on and do in those. And so I hope this helps. I hope it gives you guys some things to work on. I know it's always a work in progress, and maybe you pick 1 or 2 this month, and next month you pick 1 or 2 more. But always just like, for me, I listened to this 2 months ago, and today it was like I listened to it again for the first time, and I was like, yeah, okay. So what thoughts do you guys have? What takeaways? I'd love to hear what you guys have, things that are working, not working. Share.
I just love
You said to ask 6 people what they think about you and why they like you. That about made me want to vomit. So fun. No.
It's hard, Laura. Like, I was like, what if they can't come up with anything? And I'm sitting right in front of them and they can't come up with anything. It's hard, but I promise you they will, and it will surprise you. So I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to do that first. I
was
really
going to ask, like, did you do it through email? Did you do it through in person? Like, what was your strategy? But it sounds like you did it in person.
I did as many of them as I could in person, but I have a lot of friends like across the country, and like I tried to pick friends from different stages of my life because I know I've changed as, you know, things have happened in my life. So I tried to kind of pick different phases of my life. So some people I did like a Zoom call, or sounds kind of silly, but like Snapchat. So we kind of just did videos back and forth, but I wanted to see them. And I didn't want to put anyone on the spot. So I kind of let them know ahead of time, like, hey, I'm trying to get some information. Do you mind helping me? Like, I don't want to put anyone on the spot because sometimes it is hard to think of things. Like, I don't know what I would do if somebody came and asked me like what I like about them. I probably would have to think about it a little bit. But so it's kind of up to you how you want to do it, or try it out first with your husband and be like, was that weird for you? Or I don't know.
I was going to say, no, I had something specific. It wasn't about that, and I can't remember. This is like mid-blank lately. So somebody else go.
I really liked the reminder. I used to be really good at like making my challengers feel special, whether it was like through notes or gifts or just sending them a message. And like, I remember Kate sending me a message like really early on in a challenge group, and just like, you're doing great, blah, 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 blah. And I don't even know if I was doing great, you know what I mean? But it made me feel good, like she was paying attention to me. And I've gotten pretty bad at that actually. Like, it's not that I'm ignoring them, but I just have other things and I don't put that effort in, and it's so small and super easy. So
I was going to say, it popped back into my head, how I just feel like this is so important to like revisit all the time, because if you're being you, you're going to attract the people that are like you, right? And that's like the whole goal, is to have people that are like you, a little bit different, right? Of course, because we're all a little bit different, but like, it's just so important. I don't even think about those things, like what makes you unique. And it's kind of scary to ask yourself those questions and then be like, I don't know, right? I don't know. So I'm excited to do this, especially the 6 people. I think we should all like agree to do this within the next week or 2.
I don't know if I have 6 friends. outside of
I
you
was
guys.
like, most of my friends are not.
I was like, can I just ask you guys?
Well, right away when she was like, ask 6 people, I'm like, I'm going to ask Kate, I'm going to ask Natalie, I'm going to ask Annette, I'm going to ask Megan. I'm like, oh, they're all on my team. Okay, can't ask them. You guys, it's such an important practice. And the first one's going to feel really uncomfortable. So that's the one where I would say, like, ask maybe your husband. And if it's really uncomfortable, maybe just do it via Messenger or something. But it really, like, because I think we know who we are, right? But it translates differently to other people. And I think that's important to see how somebody on the outside, like, sees you and your good qualities. And I think that's where, personal development, all that stuff we push and we preach, and it's so important. But sometimes it helps to know, like, who am I, or how do I come across to people? And it is really uncomfortable and kind of scary, but it really is eye-opening as well. And no one's going to be mean. No one's going to be like, I got to dig. And don't give them a number. Like, can you tell me 3 things you like about me? Just be like, why do you like hanging out with me? Like, what are some, why do you keep hanging out with me? And it's funny, but I promise you guys it is, it's eye-opening. It's good.
I love the whole call. It was all great. It's a little nerve-wracking, and I think anytime we're scared to do something, we're supposed to do it, right? So I loved it. Thank you, Bree. I thought this was great. Great info.
Really good info.
Good.
Especially even just talking about, like, it's a good reminder to, like, I took a ton of notes, like, just about everything you said on my phone. Remembering, like, what you should be posting about on social media as far as, like, coaching, right? And showing up every single day, and talking about coaching. Like, are you making money? Are you seeing results, right? And I love, so if you haven't seen in our team page, Christy is sharing social media daily challenges, and she's pulling that from our Josh Coates training. So this is, like, strategic. So we highly recommend that you participate in it. Like, each day has a specific reasoning why you're sharing those topics. And I think, like, there's so much of this that we can pull into that. So, and thanks, Christy, for leading that. And I think that's awesome. I love it.
I think we fall into, it's so easy for us to sell it's less scary to sell the challenge groups. It's easier. It's not asking a huge commitment of people, or I don't know, like, so I thought this was really good, and something I really personally want to work on is just always remember to inviting to the opportunity. And I think if you can keep presenting yourself in that way of, like, this is what I'm doing and I love it and it's part of me and this is me, who I am, I think it maybe hopefully will make it a little bit easier the more you do it. And Sindel, you're spot on. Like, if something scares you, that's what you should be doing. So, and I love it, Christy. The posts, those are awesome. I'm really excited to have some structure behind what I should be posting because I think it's always hard. So, okay. So Kate, you recorded this, right? So do you mind posting the, okay.
Thank you so much, Bree.
You're welcome. Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.